All right. Well, thank you guys for hopping on with me. I definitely, like I said, I would definitely recommend grabbing a piece of paper because there's going to be a lot of information, especially if you're not familiar with bridal showers. There's definitely a lot of information. I did mute both of you guys just so I can get a clean recording, because if there's any background noise, it kind of skips to the person where the background noise is, even when I'm speaking, when it's recording. So, but if you guys have questions, feel free to, unmute, or you can put them down in the chat. All right, so some things to consider when you're thinking about bridal showers and registries. I'm a big numbers person. You guys know that about me already, that I, dig into all the numbers of everything that we do, because I want to make sure that whatever type of party that we're doing is worth your income and it's worth your time. So the wedding industry is a $19 billion, that's with a B, dollar industry a year. 19% of engagements happen in the month of December. So what does that mean for you guys right now? A lot. If a lot of people got engaged in the month of December, that means that the opportunity for you guys with bridal showers and registry is going to be immense within the next 6 months. If you think about it this way, most of the time, a wedding is being planned for about a year, at least, sometimes 6 months, depending. But a lot of times, within that 6-month period after an engagement, you're going to be having a bridal shower. So that means that, the more people that you can kind of start giving this information to and really talking and building a business around bridal showers, the more opportunity that's going to open up to you in the summertime when a lot of these weddings start happening. So most popular wedding months, believe it or not, are September and October every year. A lot of people believe to be opposite. When I did this training in Hazleton, people were actually kind of surprised that it's September and October. 91% of couples do a registry, okay, which means, big business for you if you can get into the wedding registry space. The average amount spent on a wedding gift is $70 to $100, okay? That's just for the wedding gift, so that's not even talking about a bridal shower gift. Those are two separate things. So really, each wedding brings upon the opportunity for a twofer for you guys, right? If you can get into that crowd of people and you can get in front of them for the bridal shower, typically people will buy a gift also for a wedding, which means that most of the time, if they've had a great experience with you, then they're going to come back to you. So, it just kind of opens you up for a double whammy, so to speak. 76% of brides prefer to have their shower in their home. That was another statistic that I was like, wow. Okay, so if 76% of people prefer to have their shower in their home, aren't we the ideal candidate to help them along with that process? 16% of brides will have over 40 people at their shower. Okay, so when we think about cooking shows, the ideal number is 12 to 15 people, okay? So imagine walking into a bridal shower, which has got 40 people there. How amazing would that be, not only for your paycheck, but also for the bride as well? 45% of people, which this number for me blew my mind, 45% consider hiring somebody to help plan and cater their bridal shower. So that's almost half of all brides consider that. So, again, that opens us up to be that prime person, because we kind of do both, right? We're in the party planning business and we also cook for a living. So it's kind of, again, it's a twofer. It's great. So what does this tell you guys? Okay, just by the statistics, just by the numbers, it tells you that bridal showers and registries are an opportunity when done with thought and planning, okay? So my kind of big problem that I have a lot of times is people don't put a lot of thought and care into something like this when, I've heard of some really bad experiences that people have had with Pampered Chef consultants when it comes to this subject. And I want you guys to think about it this way. This is somebody's very special day that they're going to remember forever, right? And so if you are volunteering to be that person to help cater, plan, and shower the bride, then you need to do a bang up job with it. you know, you need to definitely give your heart and soul into it, because I just look at every bride as being my daughter. You know, how would I want someone to treat my daughter? And I'm in that bridal planning stage with my daughter that's getting married in October, so I definitely can understand that. Okay, so where do you start? So let's say you're somebody that's never done a bridal shower, you've never done a bridal registry, and you're a new consultant, or you've been with me for a while and you've still never done one of these. So marketing, okay? It all starts with marketing. Not only marketing wedding showers and bridal in registries, but yourself, that you do them. A lot of people probably don't know that we actually do them. I'll tell you that, you know, most of the time when I post in my VIP group about bridal showers, I'll get this 1 or 2 messages. Oh my gosh, I didn't know that you did these. I wish I would have known, right? You get that, I wish I would have known. So marketing, all it takes is one very successful shower to get your feet wet. You get a buzz with the bride, her family, her friends, to plant the seeds for the future. Because, you know, let's face it, did you guys know that the average bride has 5 to 6 in her wedding party as far as bridesmaids? 5 to 6. Okay, so imagine that you do a really stellar job at this bridal shower. She's got 5 or 6 friends. What happens when you do a really good job and you spoil that bride? When it's the bridesmaids' turns to have their wedding showers, don't you think, hey, who was that did your bridal shower, right? That is planted, that seed is planted in their mind, you guys, okay? So it's really important that you give your all to it. So some things that I like to do, I love to advertise weekly in my VIP group and on my business page about bridal showers and registries. And again, it's just something simple. It's something that, you know, again, plants the seed and reminds people that we do them. You can send out a consultant connection email monthly, which I do. There is a pre-done, you know, bridal shower picture and verbiage, and I normally, of course, change it up to Becky personality. But I send that out once a month because, again, people are always getting engaged, okay? So it's nice to kind of remind your customers. If you don't know how to send out a customer connection email, make sure to message me later and I can send you a video because, of course, you know Becky has a video for everything. Share pictures of previous brides that you've helped. This was a big one for me. This was something that I started doing probably in my second year of business, is that, you know, not only do I really try to make this a personalized experience and a personalized like consultation with them, but come time for the actual bridal shower, I try to definitely make sure that I'm capturing memories that she's not going to have time for. Okay. And so, you know, not only do I eventually give all those memories to her, but I also hold those memories for myself so that I can use them to advertise my brides, how happy that they are. Okay. So here's a tip. I always have my bride take a picture of her wedding haul. Okay. So all that free stuff that she gets, I have her take a picture of it with everything that she got from the shower, and share a picture of it with me so that I can use it for the future. Another tip, if you didn't take pictures, no worries. Have them just share a personal testimonial. You know, sometimes hearing the words from someone else are more important than hearing the words from us. Because believe it or not, whether we want to realize it or not, people are going to trust a perfect stranger before they trust the person that's trying to sell them something. Okay. So, you know, I normally, if I didn't, like in the beginning, like I was like, oh gosh, I forgot, you know, I didn't get pictures. Then I would just have her write up a little, you know, paragraph or whatever about her experience at her party. And then I've just saved those all to a Word document. And I'll kind of put a picture with her, kind of like I do for you guys on the virtual party outlines that have got the commission checks. It's just got like her little paragraph and a little picture of her. And that's what I'll share. So how many of you guys have a local bridal shop in your vicinity? Anybody have one? Okay, good. Well, guess what? They're the perfect person to start building a relationship with, okay? I am a big believer in supporting your local community as much as you can. And I find that when you really try to work hand in hand with, let's say, the bridal shop or some of your local bakers or any of your local wedding venues, when you scratch their back, they're going to scratch yours. Okay. It's kind of a reciprocal relationship because you're both in it for the same thing, right? You're both in it in the bridal industry, and you're both trying to garner business. That's what you're trying to do. So establish that relationship with them for referrals, and in turn do the same thing for them, right? Because we come into contact with brides that are maybe looking for a photographer or for a baker or for a whatever. And so the same thing, you know, the bridal shops and all those people, same thing. Maybe they have a bride that's looking for someone to help them plan a wedding. Here you go. Okay. And if you can get that relationship going, then a lot of times, you know, again, you can scratch each other's backs. Believe it or not, there are still newspapers around. Okay. There are still newspapers. I mean, I know that we all live on social media, but they're still there. So keep an eye on wedding announcements in your local newspapers. And don't be afraid, you know, if there's information to contact someone. I mean, yes, it's cold calling and you may not know them. But what I've done often is I've pulled that person's name up on Facebook to see if I have mutual friends with them. And then I go after it that way. Okay. I wouldn't, most of the time I try not to just like randomly say, hey, Suzanne, I just seen you're getting married. How about I do a Pampered Chef bridal shower for you? All right, so watch for local wedding events, like any kind of expos or fairs or anything like that. Now, be very mindful, okay, if you do a vendor event around bridal showers, that the average bride, like we started out saying in the beginning, is planning for on average 12 to 15 months, okay? So you may get a lot of contacts at that bridal shower or at that bridal event, but most of the time, they're not going to need your services for at least 6 months, okay? So be mindful of that. So what do you do in the meantime? You start to establish a relationship with them, right? You start to connect with them in different ways, whether it be on Facebook so that they can see you and get to know you as a person first before they entrust their special day. But definitely don't just go right in for the kill because they're not going to be ready for it at a bridal show. Okay. Pay attention on social media to your news feed. There are always people posting engagements on there. Okay. Most of the time, again, I find that it's normally the mother-in-law. They're like, look, you know, Sally and Joey got engaged at Christmas and they're showing these pictures. Well, if I'm, you know, good friends with that person, why not reach out to them and say, hey, Renee, I just seen that, you know, Sally and Joey are getting married. When's their special day? You know, and start a conversation and congratulate them. And, you know, again, leave that impression on them that, you know, you're messaging them first because you want to congratulate them, right? So we want to be very genuine about that, not just, again, hey, Renee, I seen that so-and-so is getting married. Can I do a bridal shower for you? Okay, because the first thing they're going to say is, number one, you're crazy, and number two, no. So you have landed a bridal shower. Now what? So if you don't already know anything about Becky, am very systematic. Like I have to have a system in place for everything that I do. Otherwise, it drives me crazy. So I love to do a very personal experience for my brides. What I like to do is I like to drop off a catalog just for the bride. Of course, I'm going to give them extras too, but I want to make sure that they have their own copy because that is going to be their wish list. I literally want them to take a Sharpie into that catalog, and I want them to circle everything that they want from that catalog, okay? And when I get a catalog back that's like got 5 items circled, I'm like, no. Nope. Suzanne, your kitchen needs way more than 5 items, right? Like, I want you to circle everything. Like if I know you don't want anybody spending $200 on you or whatever, but I want this to be like the big dream. Like if you could have anything in this catalog, what would it be? That's what I want you to circle. Okay. So that's what I have them do. I find I get better results when I personally give them a catalog in their hand versus sending them to the website to do a registry. Okay. If you're local to them. Now, there's going to be times where you're going to be working with people all over the United States and it's not going to be possible, right? Oh, yes, it is. You can still send them a catalog. You can still send them a Sharpie if you wanted to. And you could still say the same thing. You know, Suzanne, oh my gosh, I want to see what your wish list looks like. Take the Sharpie to this catalog And then you know what? Either I can pay for you to mail it back to me, or you can just snap pictures of everything that you've, circled in there, because I want to see it all. Again, it just shows that it's a personal service. Okay, so again, have them dream big. Once they have created that wish list, I go in and I set up their registry for them, versus having them go online and do it. Again, I just look at it as a personal service. It's just something, who wants to spend 25 minutes, putting in a bunch of item numbers, putting all the information in and creating a registry when I can do it for them. And again, when we go back to talking about, later on after the shower, when Sally is done, Sally's had a spectacular day and Sally's kitchen is like, exploding Pampered Chef. When Sally's best friend, Susie, is getting married, don't you think that Sally's going to be like, hey, she really took care of me, right? She really took care of me from the start to the finish of this. So it's just going to yield you guys more future business. Once you've created the registry, be involved with the whole process from invitations being mailed forward, okay? You want to have a control over that piece. I personally prefer to mail invitations for my host, the bridesmaid, whoever, or matron of honor, whoever's doing that wedding shower. I personally would rather mail invitations for them, but sometimes you're going to have insistency where they're like, no, I'm going to mail the invitations. And what I ask them is, okay, I totally understand, and we're doing a Pampered Chef bridal shower. So the goal is to get Susie's kitchen filled with Pampered Chef. And what happens is a lot of people tend to still bring wedding gifts, and we want to prevent that. And so what I ask them to do is I have a little insert. There's 3 to a page, and I, personalize it with their information and with their shopping link and all that stuff. And I ask them if I can cut those strips and they can put it into the invitations when they mail them. And it just explains about the fact that this is a Pampered Chef bridal shower. You don't need to bring a gift because, you're going to be basically blessing them with gifts that day. I've never had anybody argue with me about it because, again, the goal is a Pampered Chef bridal shower. And if you explain to them that, hey, in my experience, you guys know my famous 3 words, right? In my experience, because it happens and applies right here too. Because we're the professionals, right? We're teaching them how to have an amazing bridal shower, and they have to have a relationship with us built on trust and knowing what we're doing. And so when you tell someone, in my experience, what typically happens if we don't put this insert in is that people are going to bring shower gifts, okay? And she's not going to get all of her kitchen stuff that she wants. When I find when I tell them that, they're completely open to it. So that little insert, good thing. So I told you guys yesterday, what is today? Today's Monday. That, the Wolfpack team page is going to be under construction because we're updating some stuff. And one of the units that I'm creating in there is going to be nothing but bridal showers and registries. So those little inserts are going to be uploaded into that unit for you guys. Okay. So everything that I'm telling you guys, a form or an order form or any kind of like document, is all going to be there for you when I'm done. Find out the bride's shower wedding colors. Okay. Find out what their colors are, because again, I like to personalize things. It's just going that extra mile for them. Find out if they want you to do the games or if they're going to do the games. Again, that's another big one. Most of the time I find that the bridesmaids are going to kind of take care of the games. I ask them if I can at least do one game. Okay, if they've already planned out all the games, I ask them if I can do one game. And that's because I want to give some prizes away and just show some fun for myself. So again, I have one of my favorite games will be uploaded into that unit section as well. It's a lot of fun. Everybody always laughs and has a good time with it. Okay, so going back to the wish list from the bride, once I've uploaded that into the registry, what is really nice about our system is that you can go in there and you can print out the wedding registry, okay? And then what I do is I take that and I cut strips of all of the items, and then I actually make a wish list board for them that I use at the bridal shower. Renee, you've seen my bridal shower boards when you came to the Hazelton retreat. And what I'll do for you guys that weren't there is I'll take pictures of what my boards look like so you guys can get an idea of what they look like. And again, I'll put it into the unit section for you. So what's nice about that is that it's going to have the complete wish list of the host on there, or excuse me, the bride on there. And so when we're doing this bridal shower, it's really easy for people to shop. They go up to the board, they pull off the items. That way, you know, things are not being duplicated. They write it onto the order form and they bring me the order form up to checkout. Super, super easy. Okay. So during this whole planning phase, make sure that you're staying connected. I try to do like a weekly check-in just to see if they need anything, if I can help them with anything. Because again, this is a really stressful time, not only for, you know, the bridesmaids and the maid of honor, the mother of the bride herself, like everybody's going crazy trying to prep for this day. And so I offer that assistance. So make it fun, make it special. How do I do that? I love to dress up my bride. Yes, I do. They always laugh at me, but it's always one of those things that they remember forever. And what I do is on our supplies section on Consultants Corner, you can actually order a wedding apron for them, okay? So I have a bunch of those. I just have them here in my little storage bins. So I give them an apron. That is their wedding gown, okay? So I literally am dressing up the bride in front of all of her friends before I do my demo. So I put her in her wedding gown. And then I always have a gift for my bride, which is a set of bamboo spoons, or you could do a teak spoon, or you could do a mix and scraper, whatever you want to use, but that's her bouquet, okay? And I tie a bow around it in her wedding colors, and that's going to be her bouquet as I'm dressing her up. And then I go to, like, you know, Joann's or Hobby Lobby or wherever you can find fabric, and I get a yard of white tulle. And then I take a Twix-It clip, and I Twix-It clip the white tulle into her hair, which is then her veil. Okay, so now you've dressed up the bride. Everybody gets pictures. Of course, you make sure you get a picture with the bride dressed up, right? Because you have to, because again, we're going to promote ourselves later on. Always thinking, guys, always thinking. But, you know, this is just fun. Like, they have fun with this. So you just want to confirm the amount of guests, okay, that are going to be at the shower 3 to 4 days out, so you can make sure that you have enough supplies available. Now, as far as planning the food goes, this is where we have to take off our Pampered Chef hat a little bit and remember that this is not about us, okay? A lot of us, every party, we have the spotlight on us. But don't lose sight that this is the bride's day, okay? This day is not about us. This is about them. If we've done our job from planning to shower, we're going to get all the results that we need because of that wish list. Everybody's going to shop for her, and it's going to be a great experience. So I keep the demo short, sweet, and to the point, okay? I don't do a standard demo like I do at a cooking show. It's something super simple. So we're talking maybe grilled chicken and a strawberry spinach salad. Okay, something that literally probably demo time takes me maybe 20 minutes. Okay, because when I get there, I'm going to make sure everything is prepped like to the T and ready to go. The only thing I have to do is really just cook, pretty much. Okay, except the twist is that you're going to have your bride helping you. So she's going to be in the kitchen helping you cook, which again adds to the experience of her bridal shower. People are taking pictures. Again, we're creating memories. And then something else that I do, kind of after the demo, we're moving into like more of the game time, is I have a bag of fabric markers and I take the bride's apron off and I pass that apron around the room and just have everybody write a special little message onto her apron for her with fabric markers. Okay. They cherish that apron because again, it's going to be memories for them. You know, when they pull that out and they can see all those special little messages from their friends and family, it's just something again that sets you apart. All right, let's see. So at the actual bridal shower, instead of our typical Pampered Chef order forms, I do have a special order form that I've created. And again, it'll be uploaded into the unit section for you guys. You're just going to want to personalize it with your information on the bottom of it. But the difference with this order form is that there's a section for them to shop for themselves and a section for them to shop for the bride. Okay. And again, that's something that I encourage from the beginning to let them know, hey, you know, I know that we're here for the bride, but another way you can help her is by ordering anything that's been on your wish list, right? Everything you order for yourself and everything you order for her is all adding up to rewards for her. And so having that separated is just going to help us when it comes time to actually sorting those orders. Which leads me to the next part. So if this bride is local to you guys, I really recommend that you ship that order, all of it, to yourself. Okay? Why would I recommend that? Because again, it goes back to personal service. It goes back to the fact that would I rather my bride spend 30 minutes sorting orders and dividing things up and figuring out what goes to her and what goes to a customer? Or would I rather do it myself, make sure that it's done right, make sure that, you know, she's not worrying about it, but it also gives me a chance, right? If I have control over those people's orders, if they've placed an order for themselves, I also have the ability to throw a business card in there or a little mini catalog with my information. I can put a little thank you card in there with a special note. Again, it's a touch that, again, people are going to remember. They're going to remember things like that. What I find is that it's all about the way that you make people feel, okay? This type of event. So, you know, I told you during that section, you know, I typically like to play a game. So when I'm done with my game and they're doing their games, I typically try to clean up a little bit of my stuff so that it's easier later on. But the other thing that I do, and I'll tell you this is what separates me from the rest, is that I'm standing around taking pictures of everyone, right? I'm taking pictures of, you know, them and, you know, doing the toilet paper game, making dresses with toilet paper and all of these fun things. I'm taking pictures because the bride is too busy. Her friends and family are having fun. And here I am standing in the background. What better way for me to help her capture those memories that she doesn't have time for at that moment than to snap some pictures for her? So, you know, at the after party, you know, the day after, what I love to do is I send the bride a text message and I say, hey, I just wanted to say thank you, you know, for letting me be a part of your special day. I know, you know, you probably didn't have a chance to capture all of the fun and all the memories yesterday, but guess what? I did. And then I send her all of the pictures that I took. You guys would not believe the amount of brides that I have that then go back on Facebook and they're like, oh my gosh, look what my Pampered Chef consultant just sent me, and they tag me. And what's important about being tagged, you guys, is that when I'm tagged in something, my friends see it, but also her friends see it. So if they know you went out of your way to help that bride have a special day, again, you've planted a seed for future business. Thank you cards. Again, when the supplies, you can order a pack of thank you cards. I typically will ask the bride if she wants a pack of thank you cards that she can just, you know, write notes. And I will go through and I will print out a list for her of who bought what for her. Cause you know, there's always somebody like writing down, you know, Sally bought blah, 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 whatever. And I go through and I make an itemized list for her so that she doesn't have to worry about if somebody missed somebody, you know, ordering something or whatever. I give her that list myself. Okay, so virtually, you know, a lot of people, okay, we're talking about all of the personal experience in home, but this can be done virtually too. I've done some bridal showers virtually, and you know, a lot of things can still be done to make them feel just as special. So when I do a virtual one, remember I told you guys in the beginning to make sure you know what colors that the bride is using. I also ask for a picture of the bride and groom, and I want to know their wedding day. Okay. And I make a personalized banner for them for the group. that has their pictures. Its background is in their wedding colors. And again, it's just a personal little experience for them. The announcement post is where I put their wish list at, okay, so that it's easy for people to find. And you can just copy the link from the gift registry itself and put that there so that everybody can kind of see what is there. I run a semi-normal outline, okay, so our typical, standard outline. But what I do is once or twice a day, I'll remove a couple of the posts. I keep all of the engagement posts, of course, because we want people chatting. But I'll take one or two products out or not taking them out and kind of double things up. So if I had, let's say, the raw crock on one post and a micro cooker on the next post, I would just combine those so that I have a spot open that I can make a post. And what I do is I call out items from the bride's wish list, okay? So then I'm like, so Jennifer has, these 5 items on her wish list. Who owns one of these, right? So I can get them talking about it. So I'll just do that. I kind of spotlight a couple times a day from their actual wish list. I get pictures of the bride and groom, maybe, as they were young and dating or, throughout their engagement period. I'll get pictures of them and again, kind of intermingle those in throughout the outline as well. Just so, again, we're keeping the focus around the bride and not around Becky. I send the host a message with personalized words to message out to people before the party starts, halfway through, and then after the outline is done. And that's simply to just make sure that they're, not getting lost, okay? Because a lot of people, when they're looking for the bride's wish list, for some reason, people still have trouble finding announcements. I don't know why. It's right there. I swear it's right here. I want a big arrow pointing up to it, it would be great. And I encourage bookings the same way as I do a regular party. The only difference is I typically, with my verbiage, gear it more towards, so I'm sure Renee at the end of this is probably going to have some Pampered Chef items left on her wish list. The really cool thing about Pampered Chef is that when you book a party, she's going to get a 50% off item so that she can get another item off of her wish list at your party. Okay. And that's kind of how I'll change up the wording. So other than that, who has questions? I think someone wrote in the chat box. What do you give to bakeries and bridal shops to reciprocate? So simply just referrals. Yep, just referrals. So if they, or I can give discounts or, whatever really. Most of the time I find it's just more referral. Like I typically will have a mini catalog with my business card attached to it, Suzanne. So if they have somebody that, is looking for a local Pampered Chef consultant or a local, party planner or anything like that, maybe they can just pass my catalog off. And then the same thing when, a lot of times when you're talking with people that are planning parties, and I like to dig and get information out of people. So I'm like, oh, so who's your baker? Or who's your, especially if I have a working relationship with someone like this, where, it's kind of the scratch your back, I'll scratch mine. I dig from them to see if they already have all those connections. That way I could be like, oh, well, I know this fabulous person that bakes cakes. Have you heard of so-and-so? So again, it's more of a referral-based relationship with the local partners. Who else has questions? Was that a lot of information? It's always a lot of information, right? Always. Everybody's quiet. I'm going to unmute everyone now. Let's see if anybody wants to talk. All right, who has questions? Someone has to have questions.
I have one unrelated to that. I'd like to know, how do you get gift certificates made?
I only caught, how do you what?
Get gift certificates made?
So we don't do, Pampered Chef doesn't do gift certificates.
Okay.
You can create your own, gift certificate. The only thing with that is that can only be used through you. They can never expire by law. So let's say Suzanne bought, Angie a $20 Pampered Chef gift certificate. I have to have some way as the consultant to record that transaction so that I know in the future that, you know, Angie has a $20 gift certificate waiting, even she can use it 20 years from now. Okay.
Okay.
So I typically don't promote them because they're just a lot of tracking and follow-up. Now, the one exception to that is they're the greatest thing to give out when you have all these people that are looking for donations.
That's why I was asking. There's a lot of people asking for donations, and they know that I'm a Pampered Chef consultant, and they're like, well, where are your gift certificates? Don't you have them? I'm like, no.
Yeah, you can make one. You're just going to have to, again, you know, it needs to be specified on your gift certificate when you make it. Only valid with Jennifer Ray. You know, mine have like, they look like a gift certificate. They're all numbered. I have a little tracking sheet so that when I issue one, I have a list of, you know, I gave it out to, I don't know, United Brethren Church, right? And for this amount.
Hey, Jennifer, they also have them at like office supply stores, and
like Staples?
They're copies, yeah. You can get them at Staples, Office Max.
Okay.
Can you handwrite specific information on there?
Like a receipt, and you still have a copy of it. That way you don't have to do all the tracking.
Gotcha.
Still paid.
So I'll tell you, though, what I typically do, Jennifer, when someone is looking for donations, is I normally to ask them to host a virtual party with me, and then we can use the free product value as donations.
Okay.
I normally try to flip the script a little bit, you know, and I just tell them, hey, I really could give you a lot more value by hosting your own show on Facebook. You know, it's 5 days long. You really don't have to do a whole lot of work. And at the end of it, you could, instead of me giving you a $10 gift certificate, you could walk away with, you know, $75 of product or, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
I try to flip it that way, and most of the time it works out better.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure. Who else has questions? Carolyn, do you have any questions? I can't see your beautiful face tonight.
It's because when I came home, I took my clothes off.
Ooh, girl.
So you would see more than.
Oh, come on, video.
I could stop the recording. Show me yours and I'll show you mine. Do you have any questions?
So anyway, no, I don't have any questions.
Okay.
Let me ask you, do most people prefer to do at home parties when it comes to, you know, wedding showers? I'm assuming they do.
Yeah. And it's just because of the experience, the sheer experience of it. They're not as common, you know, to be done. But I'll tell you, when someone has had a Pampered Chef bridal shower, that experience, like them talking about that, you know, experience is what's going to sell the bridal shower.
Okay.
So that's why, you know, in the beginning I talk about, like, you know, making sure you're taking pictures and so that you can use it to promote your business, because, you know, the two most valuable things are pictures and other people's words, you know, to get those.
Okay.
But definitely it's, there are different experiences when you do them virtually versus in home. I just think it's more of a close bond that you then have with that person. You know, it's just, you can make them feel, you know, something, and you're a little bit more involved in all of the planning of that day versus, you know, it's just an experience on Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah. Angie, did you have any questions, my dear?
No.
No. All right.
Sorry. I'm just kind of focusing kind of on two things tonight because I'm closing a party. So
Angie went from, I don't know if I'm going to do this anymore, to having a party. I'm so excited. Make me smile.
Woo.
How about you, Miss Suzanne? Any questions at all, my dear?
No, I'm good.
I am so happy to see your face on a training. Can I just tell you that?
She hasn't been feeling very well lately.
Yeah, I know.
So we have to send her lots of love going her way.
Well, we've definitely missed you. Hopefully
Missed you
feel bad.
guys as well. And the business. They got to get it all back up and going.
I'm sure you will, because you are one determined girl. All right, Miss Renee, how about you? Any questions?
Not right now.
Okay, perfect. Well, then that's a perfect place to end the recording. I appreciate you guys hopping on with me this evening. And